when I see like people get like Mondani, who is, he's going to win. He's up by 21. They had that debate last night. He's first of all, man, Cuomo standing there. Whether or not you like Mondani or not, if you know anything about the guy, it was always like, dude, how do you have any integrity? You sent old people with COVID back to old people who didn't have COVID, and then you lied about it. You knew what was going on. That's not, I don't care what kind of experience, he said, I don't care what kind of experience you had. It doesn't overcome that. And so, but he's speaking to a lot of young people out there because they're frustrated and they're angry. I get it. And if you don't think the Gen Z world is doing something, go look at Madagascar. Go look what's happening in South America, especially Peru and several other places, because they're frustrated, they're broke. They see the haves getting further away from them, and and even here, our generation, our kids aren't going to live as good as us. They're not going to be better. I mean, is that the goal?
If we could just get a little more government, that would fix it.
No. Can we get a little more government? We can't even get them to work, for God's sakes.
Ain't that the truth? Even when it's not shut down, they don't want to work.
I mean, nothing's really outside of paychecks. What else has changed? Not a lot. But when you look at somebody like China, I see why. If I'm 20, 25, can you not see the appeal? Young kids don't. The younger generation hasn't grown up in the Cold War. Didn't grow up, with the liberty and learning about the Constitution and the love of the country the way that we have. That stuff has gotten further and further away. It's not they don't care about the country, but they don't recognize how important free speech is in some of these things. They look over at China and they go, they all have health care. Everybody seems to have a job. They all seem to have, a house. And they build stuff in 5 minutes, and we can't even fix the potholes.
And they never had to watch what happened when Czechoslovakia was brutally put down by Russia or by the Soviet Union, or what happened when Lech Walesa was leading the unions against the Polish government.
Yeah. I mean, they never had to go through it. It's like the same thing when we talk about Israel and Hamas. They talk about the Holocaust. The younger generation doesn't. That's not on their radar. They don't understand. That's something that's far away. It's a book thing. That's your dad's, your mom's, your grandma and grandpa. That's that generation. This younger generation doesn't understand that.
And there's also a section of the population now that they're adults and they weren't alive when 9/11 happened.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that.
So to them, that's something that happened. That's before they existed.
Can we all just say we don't like that? We kind of don't. It's like one of those weird things where you don't, when you talk to a kid. Like we were at a meeting today. So Bel and I go to this meeting today, and our fearless leader, Allison, puts it on. And she said, she played something from Any Given Sunday. And she goes, we had some young people that are work here that were in there, and they had no idea who, was it Robert De Niro was?
Or Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. They had no idea who
she was playing the one of the speech you see, the pep talks that the coach gives that Al Pacino played, and there were people in the room that looked at her like, who is this old guy?
Because you know what? When I was young, I knew who Betty Davis was.
Right.
I knew who, you go back and look at the old stars, Errol Flynn, for God's sakes. I knew who Rock Hudson was. We all knew who they were. They don't even know anything. And it's not like Pacino and these guys are dead, or who died? Was it not Robert Redford, but Robert Redford died.
Yeah.
And who was it? Jackson said, I don't know who Robert Redford is. What?
Well, even when we were kids, we knew exactly who Charlie Chaplin was, Laurel and Hardy.
Yeah.
All those famous guys that came out of vaudeville
Stooges.
to start the movie industry.
Yeah. 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 Like, I knew who Cecil B. DeMille is. And it wasn't just because I went to his school when I was a kid. I went to DeMille. It was one of my junior highs. That's how cool that's how cool. Could you tell what kind of area you live in Los Angeles when everything's named after, like, DeMille? You're like, DeMille? Who's DeMille? Hey, guy who created the movie industry. Yes, eh?
Oh, yes.
Yes. See, we had one of our rivals was C.W. Fields.
Awesome.
It was so cool. I'm like, so when we go play there, is it CW Fields? Nah, see? I can't wait to go over to Fatty Arbuckle's house. We knew who these people were. I'm surprised that they don't. You know what it is? Their pop culture is whatever's in front of them right now.
6499 texted in that this is a really good point. Young kids don't remember the gas shortages in the 70s.
No, they don't.
You know, you complain about how expensive gas is now. Imagine not being able to buy any at all.
Yeah, there is. I remember it's like, Mom's like, it's Wednesday and we have an even number so we can go to the gas station. Because that's the way it was. Like a days, you had to have even numbers, odd numbers.
Wow.
Remember that?
See, fortunately, we lived in Texas where there was plenty of gas.
Such braggadocious.
Yeah.
You know what? We had trees. The trees had gas in it. We'd just go over to one of the gas trees and just put it right in our car. It was a nickel. It was a nickel. Oh, goodness me. Well, we're going to have more gas soon when we take over Venezuela.
Yeah, they were drinking it. It was so possible.
Yeah, it was so
popular.
You got
so much gas in Texas, it's just like drink it.
Right from the hose.
That's it. We go 12 packs of gas was a nickel. Was a wooden penny.
And there was no age limit on it. You could go buy it if you were 7.
Yeah. Well, every one of you listening probably ran some errands for your dad. You're like, hey, Chad, give me a pack of smokes. Okay.
Yeah.
You know how many times I went and got a pack of smokes from the guy down the street who never once even I'm like 12 and 11.
Sure.
You're expensive, son. Where's my bumper? He would yell at me because my dad was fixing his bumper. He'd always say that. And I go down there and I get smokes from my dad. I'm like, now I look back on it. Are you kidding me?
And if they were really strict about it, they would just ask you to bring a note from your parents who you were picking up.
If. So, and food stamps were stamps. You know, like that was true. That was true. Not
literal
a card.
Stamps.
Yeah, they were real stamps.
Yeah, what were those S&H green stamps?
Yep.
Remember those?
Yep, green stamps. Somebody just said that. So, and TV, they don't understand TV either. I'm like...
TV?
Yeah, like kids, they had no idea. Like we had like 6 channels and we had to have... Well, how'd you change the channel? I was the changer.
Yeah.
My dad would say, go change the channel. And then I would change it and then it would come in fuzzy and I'd have to stand there for 3 minutes and move the ears around, the little antennas until it got right.
We had ABC, CBS, and NBC here, plus the PBS station. And then when Channel 17 came on, that was a huge deal.
Oh, really?
That was a huge deal. It was big. Finally had a UHF frequency. And that became the fifth TV station in Nashville.
That was I remember. I mean, just again, these kids don't remember that stuff. Like we joke about 6'7", you know, earlier. If you guys didn't hear, that's like the new slang saying 6'7". Nobody knows what it really means, but it means whatever you want it to mean. But we, you know, like trying to explain. My little daughter, she has an iPad and she's got all this stuff, and they don't know any. They've grown up only with the internet, only with this, you know, culture of video games. Trying to explain to my kids what video games were back in my day. So wait, you had to go somewhere. It cost $0.25.
Yeah.
And it was crudely drawn pictures of things that were fighting with each other. Missile Command was black and white, and it was basically Centipede. They just turned the colors off.
3618 texted in, TV turned off at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah.
You got to watch a test pattern until 5 a.m.
They would play the national anthem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we got cable, and I remember there was 2 cables. There was On TV and Select TV. And Jack and I had a question about this one day. He goes, what's On TV? I said, it was cable. How many channels? I said, it was 1 channel. You would go and you would turn it on, and then it would just have movies.
Yeah, I think the first time we had cable, I want to say it was 74 or 75, and we had 13 channels.
Oh, we didn't get
We
cable.
thought that was a big deal, boy.
Yeah.
We didn't get cable until the early 80s. And I remember bugging my mother to death to get HBO because they were going to play ABBA the movie.
Oh, really?
And my mother did it.
See, I don't think HBO was out whenever we first got cable.
No,
It probably wasn't if it was that early.
I got to look that up.
It was crazy. And I don't think people we were so lucky though, and this is the one thing my kids say all the time is you guys got to live a life though where it was pre the internet. The phone, your mom would call around to find out where you were because she knew everybody. And you would find your friends when you were riding down the street and the 12 bikes were in front of your other friend's house and it was on. And it was, don't come home until the lights come on. It was a different world. And I don't envy the kids today because the pressure, the stuff they got is neat, but the pressure's incredible.
Yep.
And the fact that they don't know any pop culture.